Nah, I feel like I have really good social skills.
Well, you're not an asshole. I mean, not like in an unlikable way.
Woo! What's up,
dude? Hey, everybody.
Getting smoother.
It is like we're getting used to it. It's like losing your virginity like 15 times over. It's like on the female side because it seems like it's way more unpleasant. But hey, guys,
Can't relate to that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the Human Disaster Podcast. Jerry's letting me do the intro for once. That feels fucking crazy good. I hope y'all are doing well. Whether you're on a drive home from work or on your way to work, which I hope it's on the way back because, you know, fuck work. No, I'm just kidding.
It might put you in a bad mood.
No, yeah, man.
Nah, it wouldn't do that.
Nah.
It wouldn't do that to you.
I mean, we would, but unintentionally. If you listen to the last...
That's true.
If you listen to number 10, then it might have put you in a bad mood,
Yeah.
depending on your stances on things.
I don't trust the cup in that cup.
Yeah, man. It
It's
seems
a
kind of
little-
risky.
let's
Don't do
try.
it.
Let's try over here. Well,
But thanks again. Thank you for listening. And
yes, absolutely.
so I know we were talking about tattoos earlier. You have good tattoos, man.
Thank you.
It's and I don't say that often. Like I'll like in passing, like if I see somebody and they got good work, I'll be, hey man, this is fucking clean work or whatever. But it's not like I'm gonna stop and be like, you know what I mean? But there are times where I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh shit, that's like a lot of color.
Fucking goes.
So what I wanted to ask you is being in the Air Force, it's almost like do you just have the half sleeves and then you have what else?
I have two half sleeves that go like they're full half sleeves that go from shoulder, collarbone, shoulder areas, all the way down to the ditch and where your elbow and like bends at your bicep, right? Like the forearm, like on all the way down the triceps is completely covered, all the way up to the armpits, full on like. You know, it's not like there's barely any skin breaks. Some people will break it with like a lot of skin.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, it's the opposite of mine.
Well, that's American traditional style. So that it's warranted there. But like someone that gets like a piece of tribal on his forearm and then a quote on his bicep and then says he has a sleeve, you're wrong. You don't.
But for me, it was the reason that I got it the way I did, and I got it the way that they did it back then, which is where I would PCS, and like I have like just on my arm alone, I think I have like 3 or 4 artists. I mean, there's a guy who did the bulk of the work, and he's great, but but it was like one piece at a time, and then I realized how dumb that was because it's like, how do I tie this together? And my artist Paul was like, bro, just do some fucking stars and dots.
Yeah.
You know?
Just put it together, yeah. But so I have my 2 half sleeves. I have my left ribs, and then I have on my right leg, like the outside of my ankle on both sides, I have a shark that I got at Sailor Jerry's shop in Hawaii. It's a traditional American traditional hammerhead, which is one of my favorite pieces I love. I always forget that I have it too because I'm not looking at my legs. And then on the inside of my ankle there I have the nautical star. And then on the other side across from it I have just an anchor. And then on that calf as well, my left calf, I have a piece that I drew a long time ago, which is like a swallow with like a heart and a scroll that says family on it. And then I have Texas on my outer left calf as well.
I've been saying this for years, but I really wanted to get the Lone Star beer symbol.
The Lone Star beer symbol?
Yeah, because I drink the beer, I enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
And people get weird about it. They're like, oh, I was drinking Lone Star last night, man.
Yeah, Lone Star is good. I mean,
good beer.
It's pretty. It's.
I mean, it's like Yingling. It's like just one of the best piss beers in the world.
Yeah, I do love Yingling.
But it's I mean, like whenever people are like, woo, woo,
yeah,
it's just a really, really good piss beer.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is I used to be all into the craft beer shit, and then
really
I think have you heard of Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale? Mm-mm. It's like what they do is they take the beer and then they buy old bourbon barrels and they age the beer in it for like a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You can find it at Specs. It's really good. It's expensive, but up in Ohio you get it on draft and it's way better.
Draft is way better than beer in a can.
I love that beer.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorites. But I remember vividly being at a bar in Ohio like my last month there, and I ordered that beer and they told me how much it was. And I was like, how much is like a Yingling? And they told me, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, because I've never liked IPAs. I've always hated them.
Yeah.
I don't know, after a while, I was just like, dude, I don't really feel like having to say more than 3 words to order a beer.
Yeah.
Like, I love being able to walk up to a bar and be like, "Hi, life," and they just
But you like you have that that comfort that you know they have what you were gonna want.
Yeah, it's like,
and if you can get it on draft, it's like, oh yeah, that's a plus.
The snootiest I get nowadays is like a Shiner family reunion.
Oh yeah,
it's like,
that's fair.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dos Equis, Shiner. But anyways, so back to the tattoos thing. I guess what I was gonna ask you is it's almost like, do you have any mulligans? Tattoos that you're just like, dude, what was I? I mean, it's a part of you. It doesn't matter because I have a band symbol on my back, and I never show it to anyone because it's bad. It's like, and it's like a super emo band, and
I don't.
You don't
Not anymore. No, I had 2 other tattoos that I've since had covered only because I didn't want my sleeves, my half sleeves, to not flow. So my very first tattoo on my right shoulder was a musical note with wings, and then I got that covered to fit the Star Wars space theme. And then on the inside of my left bicep, I had my dad's like handwriting that said "Follow your heart," and then I actually have that covered now.
How did he take that?
I don't know if he's noticed.
Yeah, your dad doesn't seem like he's like I can't imagine your dad really getting like butthurt about things that aren't like dad shit.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's like whatever.
Yeah. It wasn't to like, because he wronged me or crossed me. It was like, hey dad, I gotta put fucking, gotta flow.
Yeah, like I have the silhouette of Lord of the Rings characters. Your handwriting doesn't fit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. So, but no, Caitlin's kept me in check pretty well.
Well, I mean, but you also don't seem like you're one to make rash decisions. I mean, I was just like, I don't care what I have to do. I am going to get I'm 18. I am 18. Like this is like the September after I graduated from high school. Yeah. So I'm like, I am going to get this band symbol. And what's funny is the tattoo that everyone assumes is my mulligan isn't, which is my barcode on my butt. And people
I forget you have that, dude.
Yeah, well, because it's like no one looks at it. But the funniest thing was I'm gonna give can I shout out the shop because they were really cool to me. Am I allowed to do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, just Oasis Tattoo Parlor in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, they're fucking cool, man. They're good guys. Jamie Edwards is a killer artist. He did the best piece of work on my body, but I'd gotten tattoos from like all the artists there just by product of like. Well, first I went to one guy, and then I found out Paul was apprenticing, and he's like, "Dude, I'll do that. I'll do a rose on your shoulder for $40." And I'm like,
"Yeah, steal.
I'm in."
Yeah,
that's the best investment I've ever made.
Oh, dude, I would absolutely. I've talked about this with Josh before, where like we fucking challenge each other to something, and then loser has to get the tattoo that the other one picks. I would do dumb shit like that in a heartbeat. Like the older I get, the less and less kind of like deep meaning I put into things, and I'm just more like in it because I feel that craving to get a tattoo. But I would still put stipulations on it. Like I have that Sailor Jerry poster right there. So the way I would play that with like you and me, I'd be like, all right, Mike, you can blindfold yourself, spin around in a circle 3 times, and throw a dart randomly on that board, and whatever it lands on, I'll get.
I get 2 vetoes.
2 vetoes?
Yeah, you get 2 vetoes.
That's fair.
Don't burn them.
Yeah,
don't burn them, man. Dude. My thing is, do you remember Kids Like Us? What was it?
Out of Control. No, that's track 1. That album.
That album was great, but tattoos of knuckles and knives. Never swung your fist in a fucking fist fight. Well, it's like I can't get death before dishonor. Yeah, I just got me like I've dishonored a whole lot, and I'm still alive. Yeah, there's like, and the thing is like, I guess what I was shooting at is I think it's a thing in the military. We all know someone that had like the worst tattoo.
Some shit tattoos.
Yeah, and it's not like a big deal. Like it's not like you think about it, but like when you're faced with it and they're like, "Hey, dude, check it out," and you're like, because I did that with mine, and so many people were like, And you know what? And I know a lot of people who don't like what I have. And it's like, fine, man. Like, you don't have to wear it. Like,
I like it. I like the horseshoe. With
Yeah,
the seven?
yeah.
I think it's slick.
I mean, the only rules that I had after I got the one on my back is I'm not gonna except for the Sailor Jerry print that I have, which was originally it was Navy and State, and I was like, fuck man, I'm in the military, fucking USAF Texas, let's do it.
Yeah.
I got a moto tat. I have a moto tat. I just realized like
a moto tat.
Yeah, it's like it's really big. Moto, like motivated.
Oh, okay.
Like you get like a moto tat. Like,
gotcha. Yeah, you were motivated in the Air Force. I think everybody felt that for a while because
Dude, we were all ate up.
Yeah, but I didn't do it. Would you say the band that your back piece is for?
Oh, it's Bayside. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Devotion.
I know people are listening. And they're like, "What band? What band?"
Oh yeah, Bayside. It's a bird sitting on a leaf, and it looks like it's tribal, and I hate tribal, so.
Poor execution.
No, let me preface this. If you're listening out there and you have tribal tattoos, that's cool.
Yeah, nothing. No, not dissing anything.
It's just I can't get tribal because I'm not Polynesian. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's like if I got tribal, I just would feel like I'd have to lie and be like, oh yeah, my grandfather is.
Yeah.
Because I knew a dude. He had 2 full sleeves and they were all like old traditional Filipino like
old school, yeah,
like actual they're tribal,
yeah.
And I was like, man, even though I still didn't care for the art itself, it's like, yeah, that's fucking cool. That's where I mean, I'd have to get like a Dale Earnhardt tattoo.
If you were gonna go up the family tree lineage, you'd be a Budweiser and Dale Earnhardt.
Fucking the Cubbies won. The Cubbies won. But so to bring up moto tats, I have a moto tat. But when I first got to Right Pat, I had a rendezvous with a young lady who may or may not have also been active duty, and she had probably had the tattoo for like 9 months to a year, and it was already like big time regret.
Really? What was it? Can you say?
Oh, dude, I don't. I mean, I can say.
Nobody knows who she is.
No one knows who she is, but it's like, oh, it's so bad. It hurts to say it out loud. Actually, she had the Airman's Creed tattooed down her rib cage. Yeah.
Oh my god. The Airman's Creed is.
I don't even remember it.
I don't either, but it's something that you learn and recite over every night in the Air Force.
If you were a Boy Scout, you remember I promised to do my duty to God and my country and help other people. You remember that, like, it's like that. It's like the Pledge of Allegiance for adults. It's
in the Air Force that you only say during basic and tech school, and then you don't ever say it again.
Yeah, except for the 2 times that somebody's trying to make master or tech, and then they like try to get you all fucking motivated, and you're like, fuck out of here with that. I know how this game works. I'm medical, bro. Like,
she had the whole thing on her ribs.
Whole thing, word for word.
That's a big cover up. Have to throw like a phoenix on her or some stupid shit.
Man, I got a story I got to tell you off air about her too. It's just fucking crazy. But and then another one that was another female, but we didn't have a rendezvous. She got Billy Joel lyrics, and this is better.
Okay,
but it was kind of pessimistic, which I think that's probably why it sticks in my brain. I think the quote was, "Dream on, kid, but don't ever think they'll all come true." And I was like, that's a bummer.
Dream on, kid, but don't think they'll. That's one of those tattoos that's like it keeps me grounded. It lets me know what's real.
Well, on the Sugar Skull, I have "This too shall pass," and that was just because, like, I don't know, it was something my dad always told me.
Yeah,
like whenever I was like super bummed, he's like, it's always gonna pass. But the thing, all my tattoos, I can remember like the mindset that I was in, like inebriated, like motivated, or because I just found out I was gonna have my first kid. My shop found out that I was gonna have my first kid with somebody I wasn't supposed to have a kid with.
Yeah.
So they were, and I was at honor guard too in the middle of it, man.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was a rough go of things.
Hey, man. It's like I was telling you earlier. There's a small little motto that I live by, and as long as your head is in the right place and you're making decisions off of what you feel in your heart, you make decisions and you don't look back. So it's only normal to make a decision that is off of the way you feel at that time, and then later in your life make something that could be totally polar opposite, right? And that shows that you grow. It shows that you change. It shows that you learn and evolve, right? Because some of this shit I said when I was in high school, just to be funny to other people, I now, like, if I could travel back, I'd punch myself in the face, because I'm like, you don't talk about people like that, man. What's your problem? You know, so... tattoos is one of those things where it's like, dude, you can justify it, but at the same time it's like, bro, you can't like all your tattoos.
Oh yeah, dude, I you know what, actually I have a thing where I'm like, if you have more than 3 you get 1 mulligan.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, dude, I don't walk around mad about I don't even see them anymore, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's
like they're there
after a while, and then somebody will point it out and you'll be like, oh shit, that's right, I have a rose right there in the front of I got a flower in the front of my bicep. That's weird.
Actually, so okay, I've been wanting to bring this story up for a while, dude, because this shit pissed me off. So before I got half sleeves, which I've only had in the last like 3 years, right? Like I had some that kind of came down a little bit visible, but I've actually like completed them and made them, and like I like having visible tattoos. Like, oh my god, get the fuck. Sorry, everybody, my phone just.
Jerry losing his shit is the best thing.
It just keeps blinking. I don't care, Grubhub. I'm not spending $5.
Dude,
fuck.
I play Trivia Crack, and they will not leave me alone. I haven't played that game in a month, and they're still like, this person just played their turn. I'm like, that game is so over, asshole. Can't fool me.
Trivia Crack. It's been a hot minute. Anyways, dude, now working like in corporate America, dude, like I get profiled. Like people see me and I'm standing there and I'm wearing like a normal polo, like what you're wearing, but you can see my tattoos, and people like look at me weird. Like when I ask them a question, like they look at me as if like I'm some sort of.
Do you think you're projecting that onto them a little bit, or do you feel like it's? I mean, do you feel like have other people noticed a trend? I'm just curious. Like,
like I see it more so, and this isn't to profile them, but
ageism.
I see it more so with older generations that maybe are not understanding
like
of it
our parents.
Yeah.
Does your dad have a tattoo?
No.
Mine doesn't either.
No.
But
my dad is more accepting of it now, though.
Oh, dude.
Not just because I have him, but his girlfriend now has him too. So things like I said a few minutes ago, things like that can change your mindset over time, and that just shows that you're more open. But the point that I was getting at, the story that I wanted to get to was, I've never been profiled before in my life as a white male. I've grown up.
I mean, black people probably think you're lame, but
I've grown up. No, dude, no. Here's why. I've grown up as a Let me preface this. As a white male, I've grown up in. I didn't grow up in a great neighborhood. It wasn't necessarily the ghetto, but it wasn't the projects, but it was not a good neighborhood. And when I say my ice cream man would drive around at night, and he wasn't selling ice cream, I'm not lying. When I say cars,
he was selling ice cream, but
he was selling ice cream with other things.
But the Gucci Mane, the Gucci Mane ice cream.
You know, the fucking cars down at the cul-de-sac where we used to play basketball had bullet holes in them. Like that's where I grew up.
And he's not exaggerating.
No,
I
not.
live in that neighborhood now.
Yeah, and that's just the way it is, right? And that's fine. So I grew up with like a lot of street smarts, and I've never been profiled before until I started having visible tattoos, and I could feel like the people that were profiling. I'm not saying all old people profile me or anything like that, but those that have, I've now felt what that feels like, and I felt that projection from them on me and like their mindset and views, like just looking at me, and I can see their eyes go from my eyes down to my arm, down to my other arm, squint, scoff, and then say something snooty back to me or something like that, right? It is what it is, right? I'll move on. I'll take that. But now I've become more aware of that, and it pisses me off when I see people do that to other people. Like, you can do it to me, that's fine. I'll take it. I'll be that. But for example, I was at Walmart. This was back in Easter. I was there. I was off work one day, and I was buying like the Easter basket and eggs and shit like that. And some dude walked in with his girlfriend. He's in like black denim and like a black like t-shirt with like the sleeves cut off, like you make a tank top out of the shirt, right? And that's how he is. We all do that. I have tons of shirts like that. He's got tattoos all up and down his arms. He has 3 different size gauges in his ears, like that go from big to medium to small. Super cool, right? He's got multiple nose piercings, lip piercings. He's got a few tattoos on his face. He has a crazy haircut, and he's wearing like, you know, Converse and again black jeans and a black thing. And I'm like, dude, fucking cool. Probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Right? Sometimes I've noticed that the scarier people look, the nicer they are. But either way, I saw him. Those are the decisions he made. That's what he wants to look like. Fucking cool, man. Rock it. That's you. You do you. But I noticed other people like, you know, bunching up together and whispering like, oh my God, look at that guy over there. And I wanted to stop him and be like, dude, why can't you just let him fucking look the way he looks? Accept him for what he, like, who gives a shit, man?
I know. We've talked about this too. And it's like, I don't know why, but whenever I see someone and they just like just anything above the collarbone, like unless you've done hard time, like if you've got like MS-13 on your forehead, you can do whatever you want, homie. Like that's all you, brother. I mean, but it's like these like SoundCloud rappers, and it's like, dude, it to me it just. I'm so glad that I made every tattoo decision with one thing in mind. I want to be able to hide this if I need to. Yeah. And it's like, and I know you probably made a similar decision because you knew that maybe it's like maybe it's like my version of my dad's thoughts on tattoos or your dad's thoughts on tattoos. It's like, why would you do that? It's permanent. You change as a person. You might not want this when you're older. But I do want to say this, and this drives me up the wall. There's one pet peeve I have, other than people doing this to me, it's like, fuck, I'll break your fucking finger off. When I waited tables, dude, I would just walk up and say, "Don't ever do that again." Like it's just I didn't care about my tip.
He's talking about the little curled finger, like hey, come here, but
it's just one finger, like not like hey, what's up, you know, like a head bob or like but it's just that one finger. Like I'm not a fucking dog, I'm a veteran, I'm a grown man, don't do that. Like, but my favorite thing that older people will say, or even sometimes younger people, is what's that going to look like when you're older? And my line, I've never heard anyone. I don't know if I picked this up somewhere, but I'm pretty sure I have never heard this sentence come out of anyone's mouth. I would fuck that old man if he didn't have those tattoos. Like, bro, like it's whatever. Like your skin gets wrinkly, and that's something that I have comfort in. Is that like I always loved like the old timers who had those tattoos, and it was like the color fades, and it's like that. I think Dan Soder did a bit about that, where he's like, my generation fucked up tattoos, like. I just got just full sleeves, just down his arms. And it's like, that guy doesn't scare me. That guy's probably a pussy. You know what does scare me? A guy who's like 70 and he has like a fucking rattlesnake on his arm.
Like, just one tattoo of a rattlesnake.
Yeah. It's like, I see a dude with like sleeves, just like demons and death. I'm like, medium coffee, no milk. Yeah, Dan Soder's cool, man. But it's, oh man, I guess I still hold on to that caveat of like, whenever I saw dudes in the like army who had like neck tattoos. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? Yeah, man? I don't know. To me, it's just
those were the dudes that were in a position as a civilian where the court system was like, you can go to jail or you can join the army,
or they were just dudes. The army's buck wild, dude. Yeah, like I knew dudes who got kicked out of the army for like illegal drug use, like hard illegal drugs, like. To me, it's just so foreign. Yeah. Because when I was in, like, if I smelled pot, I was like,
get away from me. Get away.
I remember vividly going to see 4 Years Strong with my buddy Gep in California, and their manager was going around the show before trying to score pot for him, and I was like, they smoke pot? My favorite band does drugs?
Yeah. Oh man.
But I guess what I'm saying is that I don't think I'll ever shake that, and unfortunately, if it becomes more acceptable, I'll probably be that person whenever I'm at work and I'm like doing like a PowerPoint or some shit, and this like young cat walks up to me and he's just like got like all sorts of shit. Like he looks like Cody Garbrandt, You know what I mean? Like just a grenade on his face. It's like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna stare at it and be like, dude, that's
fucking cool, man.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, if the art is good,
yeah,
then you get. It's like if a joke is funny, it doesn't really matter what you say.
Yeah.
But if the art is good, but man, Jesus Christ, it's like don't tattoo your face.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of tattoo artists that feel like that. They're like, don't tattoo your face. You know who tattoos their face? Ugly people tattoo their face. That's what I've heard others say. I'm not saying that. Mike's not saying that. Other people I've heard say that. But I had somebody ask me at work the other day. Actually, they're brand new to where I work, and they were asking. They're like, hey man, because they had like tattoos coming down like their forearms, like all the way up and stuff. And he was like, hey, do you think if I got like tattoos on my hands, it would prevent my progression?
Yes.
And well, here's what I said. I was like, what do you mean? Because like a lot of people get like a ring tattoo or something like that, right? And he was like, I was like, let me ask. You're talking like tattoos on the knuckles, tattoos on the tops of the palms, and all that kind of shit, right? He's like, yeah, exactly. I said, okay. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Should it prevent it? No. Will it? Probably. That's not okay. That's not right. It's just the way it is. So maybe in 20 years things will be different. 20 years ago you couldn't wear jeans to work. Now I wear jeans every day. Now I can wear shorts if I want, right? I'm wearing t-shirts all the time. That just because it's fucking hot out, really. But
well, and
I get your point though. Sorry to interrupt. I get your point because I did strategically do half sleeves on purpose. Because they're visible, yes. I wear t-shirts all the time. That's why. Mm-hmm. If I ever was in a position where I was like, hey, I need to present this presentation to, or I have an interview or this or that, like everything is coverable, right? If I have a presentation I'm going to do, I'm going to wear a button up. Mm-hmm. I'm probably not going to tuck it in, but I'll wear some nice boots or something too. I'm going to look professional still.
To me, this is a good barometer. If you're a young cat and you're thinking about getting a tattoo on your body anywhere, think about it like this. You're about to go meet your girls or your significant other's entire family. Can you hide it?
Yeah.
Like, can you? Because I mean, it's just we put people in boxes, right?
Yeah.
Based on how they look or how they present themselves or how they talk. Now, I enjoy the profiling a little bit because it's like on this show, people have watched like, look at a fucking sheepdog. I look like Spencer Pratt got spit out of a tattoo parlor after like a week-long bender in Tijuana. And so I get it because I've had people treat me a certain way, but when I open my mouth and speak,
right,
that's what I enjoy, is because I know that I can make up that ground.
Yes.
But I also know that if I had like fucking, hashtag real as fuck on my face, it's over.
I agree with you there, man. That's the thing. Like, and I got this from, I'm a huge Sailor Jerry fan, which is why he's like all over the place and shit in my house and everything. And like all the drawing I try to do and stuff is like, I love drawing American traditional because of him. But he said my work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And to me, once I heard that, I said, yes, I will never let, like, in my head, it shouldn't matter what I wear to work. It shouldn't matter what tattoos I have or what's visible. It's my work that I output. It's the way I carry myself. It's the way I communicate and the way I treat others. And all around what I'm putting forth, that's what matters. That's what should speak for me as a person. And I think right now society is still, it's getting there. It's better than it was, but it's not there yet. And we're all learning. We're all changing and things are developing, right? And it's becoming looser and more accepting. A lot of things are becoming more accepting, but
this just to kind of tag along with what you said, your appearance is going to get you through the door.
Yeah.
It just is. Like, we all make snap judgments of people. You ever notice how when you first meet somebody, they look different, and then whenever you get to know them, like, you see them differently? Yeah. And it's like, if you present yourself a certain way, and I'm just talking about for employment or for in a situation where you have to impress someone, it's like, yeah, but once you're in, then that's where it really starts. So as far as I understand where you come from, because you're working hard, you got that output. It's like, fuck you, man. Yeah, it's color. It's like you like blue. I got some blue. Like, You know, to transition poorly. I'm gonna try to segue. Unless you had more to say on the matter.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think my mulligan here. I was gonna go over the rule that I have to follow for getting tattooed. Don't worry about this, by the way.
Oh yeah, I was like.
My mulligan. I would say my mulligan tattoo. Not that I regret it or anything, but like the one that's like, hey, this one's for me. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Which one it's I got a tattoo of Vader, Darth Vader, and I got it in American traditional style because that's my favorite, and it says #1 Dad. Which, if you know anything about Star Wars,
that's fucking funny.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, because he was an awful father.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
He flips it around at the end, right? But he's an awful father.
Yeah, he cut off his son's hand and then told him, "I'm your dad."
Yeah, but I mean that's what it is, right? And it's right there. It's dead center of my arm, and it's part of my Star Wars thing, right? Like I got Calvin and Hobbes as Han Solo and Chewbacca on a Millennium Falcon, and then I have Darth Revan, which I got as for my son, and then I got the Darth Vader, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna throw the whole thing together as Star Wars in space, and then I have like a TIE fighter chasing an X-wing with the Death Star 2 right here. So like it's the whole thing, but that's probably my mulligan. Like that's my funny tattoo for me, right? And I followed along with the rules of all the other tattoos I've gotten. Is you have to want the same thing with no changes on the same part of your body without any changes for at least a year.
Oh, that's so smart.
If you want the same thing on the same part of your body with no changes for a year, you will not regret that tattoo. I followed that for everything that I have, and I'm good.
Well, except the 2 cover-ups. I'm being funny.
I still wanted those for a good while. I just decided, hey, I'll take. Oh, and by the way, if you think getting your fucking ribs drilled hurts, get a fucking cover up, dude. I felt like somebody just had a blowtorch, like a welding iron, like on my fucking arm for 7.5 hours on my shoulder.
Dude, ribs just sucks.
Ribs do suck a lot.
Ribs. All right. So my quick story about ribs is I've never been yelled at while getting tattooed. And Jamie Edwards, shout out, man, if you're out there wherever you are, you know, he's like, dude, you really helped out the shop. You know, you've been a good customer, and I haven't tattooed you yet, so I'll cut you a really good deal. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted a foo dog because I courage, strength, and I don't know, I thought it was cool. And he was really good at Japanese traditional. And so he's like, I only have 2 rules: don't be late. Don't drink the night before. I was like, gotcha, Jamie. So I don't know, it was like 11 o'clock that night, and I was like, because my appointment's the next day, and I'm drinking, aren't I? So I go in and I took Motrin on top of it, dude. I took a blood thinner. Was it Motrin? I took Tylenol or aspirin or something. It was a blood thinner. And so I sit down. I had chewed so much gum, dude. Like I was like, I hope
gum. Oh, to mask the
smell. Yeah. I was like 10 minutes late. I walk in and he's pissed. I think he was like cavalry or something in the army. He's hardcore, dude. He's a hardcore dude. But I'm laying down on my side. I never had a rib piece. The worst pain I'd had getting a tattoo was my sternum.
That's fair.
It felt in my ear.
Oof.
But that's the only time I've ever been yelled at while getting a tattoo. The whole time. The whole time. Because like he was one of those dudes like kind of carried himself like it's an honor to get tattooed by me a little bit, you know?
Okay.
He's a good artist.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, can I get a fucking line in? Can I get a line in? You're bleeding like a stuck pig. You drank, didn't you? Like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, and dude, finally he got the outline done, and then he sits back in his chair and he's like, I don't know what you have to do, but I don't know if it's meditation. I don't know if you gotta like knock yourself out, do some breathing exercises, but you need to like fucking chill the fuck out. Dude, he yelled at me the whole time.
Yeah.
So
do you know why they tell you not to drink?
Yeah, because it thins your blood.
Yeah, it thins your blood.
Yeah, he's like, you're bleeding like a stuck pig.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that. Like they'll go and they'll get fucking, they won't get sloshed, but they'll get a little tipsy and then sit down to ease the pain. But dude, you fucking bleed, and then you run the risk of getting an infection because now you're bleeding more, so the ink can get the open ink, right? Because when you put it in your skin, it's going under both layers, but it's also coming back out, right? Which is like when they say like, oh, I gotta pack the color in. It's how much they have to go over it and over it and over it, which is why it hurts. But they're packing that color in, and then it can get into your bloodstream, dude, and get infected, and you get sick and all kinds of shit, man.
So getting a tattoo, the first tattoo I ever got, my mulligan, I was terrified, dude. I was so fucking scared. I don't know why. I was just like, I knew that so many people had done it. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's still like that.
It's super new. But then you just get fucking hooked, dude.
Yeah, you know what? The endorphins, the rush. I mean, I know people who I got all of my work done in a 3-year span.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just by the time I separated, no, maybe 4-ish, but I got them all in the Air Force, all of them, and I'm fine with that. So I was like, you know what, I'll get another half sleeve, like 28, 30, 34, something. I don't know if I can know.
On the other arm.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not in a rush either, because at the same time, I also know I have poor decision making skills.
Yeah.
But and you know what's I've been talking pretty strongly about getting a True Detective half sleeve.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even know how I'm going to make that work. But if anyone out there is listening, you watch True Detective Season 1, Matthew McConaughey, Rustin Cole, my dude. Time is a flat circle. Where's that Nietzsche? Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I love that. Anyway, sorry. But poor segue time. So speaking of fear.
No, because it's already 37 minutes in.
Oh, shit. You're right. This is why I don't host. Because I'm disorganized.
No, we got on a good topic. That's why I was like, let's just run with it. But
oh yeah, so one of the coolest tattoos that I've ever seen that I can't get, or like anything of that ilk, was I don't remember where I saw it, but it was like the way the artist did it was really cool, because it was like almost like it was made of stone, like it was like carved of stone, and it was the Archangel Michael killing a demon.
Yeah.
And it said, "I fight what you fear."
Oh, that's cool.
That's I was like, that's fucking cool. But then you have like that moment where you're like, I could get that. And then you have like that, or something of that ilk. And then you have that moment where you're like, I'm an X-ray tech in the United States Air Force.
Yeah.
I can't get that.
Yeah, I can't get that. No, my whole thing with tattoos, man, and this goes kind of, I think what you were going to ask earlier if you didn't ask, but like bad tattoos that you've seen with the 2D. It's hard for me to say like I've seen bad tattoos. I've seen poorly done tattoos where like the idea was there, but they just didn't go to somebody that was good, or they didn't take the proper steps to heal it properly, so it healed like shit and now it looks like shit. But no, I'm real big on just be original, dude. Be original. Don't get a bird cage with a bunch of birds flying out of it. Don't get the infinity symbol that says love and say you want it to look symmetrical, because it's not going to look symmetrical because the word love is in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when I was in Japan, like I was in the Mecca to get Japanese traditional, which is really cool, but guess who else was getting Japanese traditional? Every other fucking person in that entire fucking country, dude.
I mean, but at the same time, it's just one of those things. Like, I would have done it because it's like,
yeah.
So I'm at the place that this came from, right? And this is huge back home.
Yeah.
But I know that I could, if I wanted to, I'm gonna get it done with a tattoo gun, obviously. But if I wanted to, there's a dude banging a stick with a nail in it into somebody, and I can get that.
Yeah. That's what I would have done if I did. The thing with it is with Japanese traditional, if I was gonna do it, I was gonna get it right. So I was going to do like a traditional half sleeve where their traditional half sleeves don't come down all the way to their to like the elbow bend. Mm-hmm. They come up just before it. Or like if you get a full sleeve, it doesn't go all the way down to your wrist. It comes up like a few inches from there. And the whole thing is, it's because of like the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia.
Yeah.
They have full body suits of tattoos, but when they wear their clothes, you cannot tell.
But then they show them like sometimes where they'll wear the open like
right.
Robes. What's really interesting is where their tattoo tradition came from, which is where they used to, whenever somebody became a criminal or they were caught or they were sentenced, they would tattoo their forehead with their crime. So it became kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, like it's like but the most interesting, I've actually bought a book on it because I was just so fascinated with it, is Russian prison tattoos. It's the depth of knowledge that you have to be a Russian prisoner with tattoos is absolutely insane. everything on their body has meaning. Every single thing. Like a big one is stars on the shoulder, which means that you're a thief-in-law, which means you've devoted your life to crime.
Oh, wow.
If you see a church on somebody's back, the number of steeples is the number of sentences they've done. Like everything, the idea is that when somebody walked into the gulag, you knew who they were, you knew what they did, and you knew what they were about. And it goes all the way down to like heinous crimes. Like if somebody had like a mermaid on their stomach, they had raped a woman. Like it was just like they had the layers and depth of how deep it went just blew my mind. And some of them were actually funny, like because they lived in the communist country, they would actually put Stalin or Lenin over their heart because whenever they faced the firing squad, they knew that they wouldn't shoot the great leader. Or that was the theory.
That is funny.
They have like what do the officers have with the boards right here?
They would, lapels, but like
they would get that like for their rank, everything.
Damn.
And it's almost like it's like an exponential version of whatever our prison tattoos are. It's Vice did a really good article on it, and then the guy who he's an American and he just delved himself in that world. Which, by the way, Russian prison is like the worst place on earth. And how they do tattoos is even crazier because you have to use your own urine, and then they use soot.
Wow.
And they just needle.
Damn.
And some of these are works of art. Like these churches look like old Russian Orthodox churches.
That is super cool, dude. American traditional has some meaning to a lot of it, and it came out like when Pearl Harbor was going on, and that's why it's so prevalent in Hawaii, and like that's why it was so prevalent with the Navy, because the Navy was out there doing everything during that time, and like so the tattoos there mean like.
Well, I have a swallow back here, and it's the reason it's usually a swallow is it's because it's the first bird that sailors see before land. Right. So.
A lot of them they'll get like some of them have dual meanings. Like the nautical star will mean like hope and faith, right? Which is why I got it from my mom, because that's what she does for me. And like the anchor means like strength and stability, which is why I got that from my dad, because like he always kept me grounded, right? But then at the same time, I could be wrong on this. I don't know. I haven't looked into it in a while, but they get certain tattoos after they've done certain things in the Navy, like after they've sailed so many 100 miles or whatever. They get those tattoos.
Whenever you become the Order of the Shellback, whenever you cross the equator for the first time, whenever you go over the Tropic of Cancer, right? The one that really fascinates me though is is it the chicken and the pig that they put on their feet? That's a really good tradition. Yeah, because those are the two animals that float. I think that's the idea.
Fuck, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's something like that. Yeah, I could look it up real fast if we wanted to. But
what's really insane to me though is and it's why I did it this way is because those guys, they would go into a port, they would go to like Thailand, they would go somewhere and they would just be like, all right, I'm gonna mark this. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just something. To me, it's like I know we feel the same way. As like an old Sailor Jerry print is like the pinnacle of Americana to me.
Yeah. I mean, so let me throw some fucking history at you here, man, because a lot of and you may know some of this, but a lot of people don't, and so I want to.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like we're chasing our tail. No, this is all you, bro.
No, so Sailor Jerry was in the Navy, and he was in Japan, and that's where he learned about Japanese traditional, and then he came back to America and said, I want to make it my own, and that's how he helped basically forefront that whole American traditional style, which is like basically and by the way, I've learned a lot of this from like researching and then like watching his documentary, and then also like kind of studying under my tattoo artist who I've been going to for 10 years, Andy, who is tentative to be on the show, so he's on the list. We're just working out the scheduling kinks really, but so I'm sure we'll cover some of this stuff again with him. But he taught me that the rules of traditional American traditional is like big black bold outlines, because basically these tattoos stand the test of time. Like you want to know about what it's going to look like when it's older, it's going to look just the same. But it's basically like 1 part black, 1 part color, and then 1 part skin tone. And there are only certain colors that are used, which is why you mainly see like reds, yellows, greens, and then black. And that's really what the only colors they had. Yeah, boom. Oh, that's beautiful, dude. That's real good.
Yeah, it's $40.
Dude, that's a fucking steal, man. So many people get shitty fucking roses, dude. And I draw them all the time, and people could just get some really shitty ones. But anyways, so those are the principles of it, right? A lot of people do not know that Sailor Jerry taught Ed Hardy.
Yeah, he was an apprentice.
Yeah, fucking no, but people don't know that. And so they think that Ed Hardy, like, came up and, like, did all this shit and then...
Well, it's because their art styles are drastically different. It's like Ed Hardy he did a neo-traditional Japanese.
Yeah.
And then you have Sailor Jerry, who is the godfather of...
So that poster is Sailor Jerry, and then these two over here are Ed Hardy.
Real quick, pin the tail. Which one would you pick? Do you know?
On that board?
Yeah.
I would probably, as of right now, the thought in my head, what I've been leaning towards mostly lately is there's a fucking dagger on there.
It says never again?
Yeah, it says never again.
Fuck it, I was looking at that one.
Yeah, oh. I would get it to say USAF for U.S. Air Force, and I would say never again. And that's what I want to get next.
Geez, yeah, motor tat.
Yeah. Just put another script on that that says never again, man. You'd be good.
I think I'd get the parrot, dude.
The parrot?
Yeah, the parrot.
That's pretty good. But so in the middle there's the stewed, screwed, and tattooed, and it's an anchor, a booze, and a hot lady, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why pinups were so big at the same time, because a lot of sailors would get pinups of hot girls because when they were out at sea, they were only on ships with men, so they wanted something hot to look at to take care of business.
Well, yeah, but one other thing too is because it's the same thing with like the bombers at the time, because they would draw pinup girls on the side because it was like a reminder of what you're fighting for.
Right, exactly. But so basically in Hawaii during that whole time, with the whole, like, you know, everyone was getting drafted and getting sent out to like Pearl Harbor and things like that. So like down in Hawaii, basically when the sailors weren't at work, they were in line to get a tattoo, or they were getting sloshed at a fucking bar, hop over to the whorehouse, and then get in line for a tattoo. And then, like, there were some people that were running businesses, like, you know, some
combined all three.
That combined all three.
That's
so
ingenuitous.
Crazy, man. But that's some of the symbolism behind a lot of it, which is why you see the pinups, like the snakes, the daggers, the eagles, the anchors, and, you know, it's very naval based and things like that. And
well, to me,
it's just cool, man.
To me, it's like I like the way they look. I like the bold outline with the easy color. And the only thing is, it's like this isn't traditional at all, because this was a Sailor Jerry print with the old Homeward Bound. Mm-hmm. And can I tell the barcode story real quick?
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say one real fast. One of my favorites is the bottom left. It says it's got a rat on a skull, and it said "Rats get fat while brave men die." And when I first read that like resonated with me, because like I read that when I was in the military, and that was when I realized there's so many people, not necessarily in the military, but just within the world, those that are on top, like the 1% that have all the money and all this and that, like they're doing so little and getting so much, and there are people down here scraping by and getting nothing for it. So that one kind of resonated with me. But
what I got from that is pride will get you killed.
Pride will get you killed. That's fair.
Pride will get you killed, man. Like, I don't know, keeping it real, it does go wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just a quick story about how I ended up with a barcode on my ass.
Yeah, do that and we'll wrap it up, man.
Oh, sounds good. So the guy that he was an apprentice when I met him, and then he did most of the work on my arm, and he did one of the roses on my shoulder. A real good guy. He called me one day and he's like, "Hey man, like I've been struggling through this apprenticeship. It's been really hard. You know, my girl's not working." And I would always, I'd always tip him, you know. I mean, and it's just a little. I mean, it wasn't. I'm not like fucking money bags, but
yeah,
you know. And he's like, "You really, really helped me out, so I want to give you a free tattoo." And I'll never forget the way he put it. I'd never heard it before since he's like, "But I'll give you a free rocker, like palm size, full color, whatever you want." Nice. And I was like, "Dude, I'm not starting another fucking sleeve."
Yeah.
And so I told myself in 8th grade that I was gonna get 2 tattoos. I was gonna get the Blue Oyster Cult symbol, which changed to Bayside, and then I was gonna get a barcode on my ass because I'd seen people who had like barcodes like on their arm or on the back of their neck, and I was just like, that seems like a weird placement if I was like a product.
Yeah.
So,
you want to hide it.
So yeah, right. Like yeah. So, because you have to, whenever you're at self checkout, you really have to like look for.
That's what you thought about? It was like, if someone was ringing me up,
they would have to turn me upside down and like check every angle, because we all do that. Wait. So Paul's like, all right, I'm gonna give you a free rocker, and I was like, dude, to be honest with you, I mean, I would get the Lone Star symbol, but dude, I just don't want to start anything new, but I kind of want to get a barcode tattooed on my ass. And he's like, dude, I'm not tattooing your ass. It's just not happening. I'm like, well, it's just like at the top.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of like arguing back and forth, and like I'm getting animated because I get animated. And Jamie, the owner, walks up and he's like, what's going on here? And I'm like, Paul won't tattoo my ass. And he's like, you better load up your fucking machine. So I lost the photo, unfortunately, but my buddy Cart was getting a tattoo. Man, he had killer work. He was getting a tattoo across from me at the same time. We didn't even know, you know what I mean? But yeah, he took the picture of me, and I'm like doing the thumbs up, and fucking poor Paul's like having to tattoo my ass. But I always get there's always one question I get about it. Do you know what it is?
I think when you brought it up the first time,
sorry.
Scan it.
Yeah, it's like, no, you can't fucking. But what's funny about what's really funny about it though is it's number 3 worst pain for tattoos.
Your ass, really?
Yeah, because it's like you're straight dude. Like what? How much interaction do you have involving your ass other than shitting? You know. I mean,
that's so true, dude.
So
that's super true.
So I swear to God, he gets like 2 or 3 lines in, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can do this. He's like, well, you just got to walk around with 3 lines on your ass then. And I was like, fine, fuck it, finish.
Fuck it, get it over with.
Oh, and the other question that I get too is like, what barcode is it? And I was like,
yeah, that's my favorite part about it is your explanation of that. You're like, I don't know, man. Could be a dildo, could be a couple CDs. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's
go from dildo to CDs.
It's won me so many beers, man.
That's fair.
Yeah, man. People are like, what's even funnier is if I would have a adult rendezvous with a female and she had no idea, and then I'm like walking away, like going to the bathroom or something, and like I'd say, is that a barcode? I was like, yeah, I came with it.
It came with the purchase. Yeah. All right, Mike, wrap it up, man.
Oh wait, am I like am I taking this out too?
You brought us into this podcast. You take us out of this episode.
All right.
You should wrap it up with advice that you could give to someone who wants to get a tattoo, since that's what we talked about. So
if you want to get a tattoo, there's a couple rules that I've abided by. Not well, but it would be first off, it's similar to what Jerry did, but mine's not as long term or well planned out. What I say is if you have an idea of what you want to get, first of all, do never go to a shop and point at a wall and say, I want that dragon. And shop around. Go to an artist that you would hang out with. Yeah. Because you're going to be there for a while. Yeah. So one of the first shops I went to in Ohio when I was trying to get a sugar skull, it was impossible to find a white dude who knew what a fucking sugar skull was. And I go to this, I'll never forget this. I go to this shop, and this fucking goon-looking dude walks up, and he's like, hey, man, you looking to get a tattoo? He's like, yeah, I'm in a tattoo parlor. I'm looking to get a tattoo. I want a sugar skull. And he's like, I could do an eagle. That'd be super badass. And he's like, I'm like, no, dude, I'm from San Antonio. Like, I really, it's like a part of
culture here.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, but I mean, sugar skulls are kind of feminine. So, I mean, an eagle would be badass. I'm saying it like that, too. And one of the things that the artist did that I thought was really cool is because usually it's an upside down heart for the nose, but he did a keyhole. I was like, oh, cool. That's man. Cool. Yeah. But anyway, get a custom something that the artist had to sit down and draw for you. Or what Paul would do is he would have a backlog of shit that he drew that he came up with, and then sometimes he'd be like, hey man, you flip through it, just see something catches your fancy, whatever. Yeah. So get an original piece, because I've been at a pool with a dude who's bragging about his new tattoo. It's like fucking dragon or whatever. And he's like talking about how cool it is. And then a girl walks by and she has it as a tramp stamp, like almost exactly the same. It's a rough spot to be in, man. It is. You never want to have matching tattoos with somebody. Never. I mean, unless you do, which if you do, you do. And then, but this is my biggest piece of advice. If you have an idea of what you want to get, go to an artist, have him draw it, fold it up, put it in a drawer, and don't look at it for 3 months. And then if you still dig it, then yeah, why not? And then if you get a tattoo that sucks, man, shit,
fucking own it.
Yeah, seriously, man. Just don't be one of those people who like don't ever apologize for it. You know, you got a shitty tattoo, man. I had a buddy who had the Red Bull symbol tattooed on his nutsack. I saw it, man. It was real. It's a free tattoo. I'd do it. I mean, stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's not important.
Yeah.
But he has it. All right, guys. As always, we appreciate you for listening.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah, it's always a blessing to be here on Earth, but especially in Jerry's house because your AC is on and he always has free soda for me. I swear to God, dude, it's like I break in here every week. Just like, Revan's the only one that's happy to see me. He's like, "What's up, Mike?"
Yeah. He's the only one.
Yeah, he's the only one. No, just kidding. Yeah, everyone's friendly here. But I hope you all have a good work week, or just, you know, whatever you're doing, watching kids. Oh man, I don't know what your lives are about, but
working out, get that pump, push it.
Nah, not me.
Some people work out when they listen to podcasts.
That ain't me, dude. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, real quick. This is gonna take us out. What do you listen to when you Southern hardcore?
You're gonna ask me what I listen to when I work out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of like Norma Jean, Every Time I Die, Wage War.
So one of my biggest pet peeves about YouTube is smash that like button. But if you think country is a superior form of music to metal, let us know.
Yeah.
Because you agree with me. Can't be mad all the time.
All right, guys. Get mad.
What?
Oh, actually, dude.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, should we start doing like at the end? Should we start doing like our own personal song of the week? Like what we've just individually been bumping?
Tame Impala's The Less I Know, the Better. Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours?
Ooh, I wasn't prepared. No, hold on. I got a song. I just have to pull up my Spotify real fast. No, this is something I've always wanted to do. And for those of you that really don't know, me and Mike are fucking huge music buffs, but on like different sides of the spectrum. So we'll save that explanation more so for...
we do not agree
on a lot of things, but we also agree on a lot of things.
We get along well enough.
Yeah,
to where we can coexist, but I just can't play country.
You know what? I'm gonna just throw this out there for this week. Song of the week that I've been bumping is Mississippi by Big Crit. So yeah,
that song. Do you know how mad I was that this fucking Wonder Bread white dude showed me like one of my new favorite rap songs? I was fucking mad as hell. I was salty listening to it. That's how good it is. Listen to Mississippi by Big Crit.
Yeah.
Fuck Tame Impala.
Bro, I told you I wasn't from a good neighborhood, man. I grew up listening to fucking Crime Mob.
If it hadn't have been for that guidance counselor, I swear to God, you'd be at the drinkery right now trying to work some fucking shit game on some girl.
I think you're right, man. Maybe he opened the door I didn't know was there.
Dude, you'd have a sticker on your fitted. Shit would be crazy.
I don't.
He does not. Verified. All right, hey, y'all take care.
All right, thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
More to come. Bye.